So welcome to our monthly meetup. We host this every month. Every month is a different venue. It's a different date, but it's same. There's cool content. As you can see, a lot of swag. So there will be a little Q&A or a little quiz for. There's actually quite a lot of swag. So we're going to make it very interesting. So I just want to say a big thank you to our venue sponsor, the food sponsor, the drink sponsor, and swag sponsor, DVT. So I think for DVT, let's give him a big round of applause. Okay. So we'll introduce DVT and let them have a quick word just to say welcome to everyone.
Hi guys, I just want to welcome you. I'm Jake de Villiers. And I'm older than the furniture in this room. So our journey with AWS has started a couple of years prior to COVID. But it's great to reconnect with the AWS community again. We had it running in Cape Town, up in Joburg for a couple of years, and then COVID happened. And we just never restarted it. And I think Henny was sent here in some way to remind us to resurrect that, and we will do that also in Joburg from September, or prior to September onwards. So special thank you for Ineke for organizing all amazing food. It is a pleasure to always work with her. And Henny, I think we've done this kind of concept thing for many years, and a community is vital. To connect, to support, to continuously learn and exchange ideas and network. So that's important. In terms of, I'm not going to bore you with what DVT does, it could be part of the questionnaire later on, but as a software company, we're focusing heavily from an AWS cloud perspective, not just AWS, reluctantly have to admit. We do Azure as well, but that's the dark side. But from an AWS point of view, we focus heavily on the application and solutions engineering side of it. Not as much as the operational side, but we do that also. So I'm being biased here from an engineering perspective. But a long road ahead for all of us, but it's very exciting. I think the world between AI and cloud, there's not much more, and security perhaps as well, more interesting aspects than that. So welcome. Please be interactive, enjoy the food, drink, connect with each other, talk to each other, and good luck with the swag. Great. Thanks.
Thanks, Jay. Okay, cool. So we promised swag, but you're gonna have to work for it. So if you don't interact, no swag. So we have AWS, DVT, stickers, and might be something else. So who hasn't used Menti before? Okay, it's fairly easy. You scan the QR code or go to the menti.com, enter the code. If you don't participate, you can't get swag, right? So scan the QR code, and I'll kind of guide you guys on how this journey will go to get your swag. But while that's happening, at our workshop for Community Day, we talked about hoodies. What do you guys think about this? So maybe a lucky winner can win something like this, maybe. But this is mine, sorry. Maybe. But we are looking to get this as merchandise you'll be able to purchase for Community Day or just in general. So we are working with our new vendor to get hoodies printed. But this is a bit different. It's 3D embroidered on the hoodie. So it's not just screen print. It won't disappear after one wash. It is high quality. So nudge. If you own OfferZen shirts, you know the quality. This comes from not OfferZen, but the lady behind OfferZen's mastermind, Swag Queen. We designed it, she printed it for us. So we're working with Swag Queen for all our swag, Community Day swag, our user group swag. So this is one hoodie. And then we have a different design also, because variety, right? So here's the other design. So maybe at Community Day, this will appear as giveaways, maybe. But for that, you need to join Community Day, right? So with that said, everyone scan the QR code. Can we start? Because then we can get swag, right? So if you haven't noticed, Community Day is coming 20 September. It's being hosted by us. It will be at Amazon's new building, so you get to see the new building. I know that's a big, everyone wants to see the building. So if you want to see the building, come to Community Day. It's free. So no ticket sales. You have to register to get a ticket, but it's a free event. You'll be able to interact with AWS. So, I'll say it. AWS was founded here in Cape Town, for those who didn't know. Not just anything, AWS itself. Amazon was founded globally in Seattle, but AWS started here, as well as EC2. Those founders who initially started AWS here in Cape Town, they will be here. So they will be able to share stories and kind of see where the journey came from. But also we have a few international guests, and we actually are chatting to the mayor to come show and come spend the day with us. Because Cape Town says it's a smart city, come show us the smart city. So we are trying to get cool people in the room, and everyone is welcome. It's a free event, 20 September. More than happy to host you all. The tickets is selling quite fast, so I would suggest getting some tickets on Community Day. Okay, let's start. So you can see there's quite a few players already in the game. Everyone ready? See, there's some more players joining. 20 players, so 20 items of swag. Oh, shame. Okay, I think we're going to start. Everyone ready? So, the fastest answer wins the more points, and so there will be a leaderboard. Question is, are you registered for Community Day? And it's anonymous, we don't see the names, but be honest, are you or are you not? So, oh, there we go. Everyone has voted. So let's see. Oh, 10 people. The 9 people in the room, no swag for you. Sorry. You, like, shame. No. But yeah, I would suggest register as soon as possible. Time is really running out. Yeah, it's going to be a really cool day. So the 10 who are registered, 3 points for you. There we go. So we'll see who's the leaderboard. John Cena, we can't see you, so sorry, no swag for you. Okay, so Hunter X, whoever that is, don't tell me. You're out on the races. Okay, so obviously it's DVT, right? So we want to talk about DVT. So the next question would be very DVT focused in terms of who they are. What does DVT stand for? We'll see who knows their company's details. And we'll see employees might get a nice surprise or a talk on Monday. It's like, you don't know your own company. Oh, okay.
Of course, it's deep vein thrombosis.
Yeah, of course. Because if you Google that, that's what's coming up. Okay. It's coming. So let's see how, if Hunter is still leading the pack. Indeed. John Cena is still missing in action, though. Yo. Okay, cool. The next question, and we'll see. all of the answers gives the max points. How old is DVT this year? Not specific this year. So today, how old is DVT? And you're allowed to Google or ChatGPT or Copilot or Amazon Q or ask DVT in the room. There's no rules that say no. I mean, phone a friend. Oh, who thinks DVT is that young? Oh, shame. They have been in the game for a long time. I mean, I know them from the previous encounters, the previous logo. Okay, yeah, so DVT is 26 years in the industry right now, and they are not just in South Africa, they are global. There's 8 offices, so they are a global company. So now let's see if Hunter's still hunting. Ooh. Oh, okay, so Bennett is obviously now leading us because John Cena's still missing. By shame. Aye, poor John Cena. So for max points, who's the MD? So there's options. Choose the option. Who's the MD of DVT? Who's he? See who's knowing. Oh, they think. Aye. Well, can I say, Jake, congratulations on your promotion then? Okay, for bonus points is not on here. First person to point out the correct MD. Who is the correct MD? Who? Is it that?
You didn't say the tallest person in the room. Oh, how about that? Yeah. That's because I'm in marketing.
Yes. So there, Chris in the room with us. There we go. Oh. No swag fun. You lose some, you win some, and you get nice promotions or you get demotions. You know, fair game for everyone. Yeah. Okay, now we'll see if Bennett is still leading the race. Oh, there we go. JP. So JP obviously won. Congratulations, JP. You can come up and get your prize. It's not about the fastest, it's about more accurate. Baie geluk.
Baie dankie.
Kies weer. Jy kan kies, jy kan 'n AWS shirt kry. As ons hier size is, dan kan vir jou organise. Wat se size is jy? XL. Daar is hier, ek dink hier is 'n XL.
Baie dankie.
Ja, en dan kan jy soek jy DVD kap. Hier, kom maar vir jou kies. Sure. Okay, cool. Then Marco. Who's Marco? Who said polo? Who said, wait. Who said polo? I heard a polo here. Who said polo?
Never know my name, it's fine.
Congratulations. You can choose something from the stack.
I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. Covered.
Perfect.
Okay. John Cena. Always see. And he wears camo. You choose something for you. Yeah, sure. Bennett. Joe. Yeah, you could just read something.
Just not the wood. Just not the wood.
No, not the Rudy. Okay, let's see. Let's get some booby prizes. Iggy. There you go. Yeah, you can choose something of the whatever you want. Your shirt as well. And vote goat. If we don't have your size, just let me know. We have more sizes.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay, cool. So for now, that's all the swag. There's more. Don't stress. It's not on the screen. What's the name of the speaker tonight?
Megan?
Yeah, who's speaking tonight? Not me. No, it's not me. 5, 4.
Abed.
Lady was first. So we're going to take away swag points for you. Sorry?
Abed, Matini.
There we go. Come grab you some. Okay, now we'll ask a few questions around the talk. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone participating. There is more swag, don't worry. We'll give them more stuff. But yeah, let's all welcome Abed. Welcome to the stage.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome. My name is Abed. I'm talking today about prompt engineering. Whoever works with ChatGPT and all the large language models, probably without even knowing, using part of the things I'm going to talk about today. It's about, so the prompt engineering. We're going to go step by step going through what's happening about prompt engineering and what are the techniques and why we're using and why it actually matters. So what is prompt engineering? Prompt engineering is like art of how you can best talk to, for example, a ChatGPT or to any large language model to get the best response. So the better you can provide your input to an LLM, you're gonna get a better result and reduce the chance of hallucination or any other issues or unexpected results. So why it matters? Because effective prompt can lead to a better result, improve efficiency, and enhance the understanding between human and AI systems. So, but what is actually a prompt? Like, what are the elements of the prompts? A prompt would be divided to 4 parts: instruction, context, input, and output constraints. That means, as a very, very simple example, instruction, that means I want to translate to a language. Then the context is you are a translator. Basically, you're telling a ChatGPT, for example, you are a translator, you want to translate to French. Your input data is just hello, I want to know the translation of hello in French. And output is, okay, I want the whole response to be only in French. I don't want to hear or see any other information. So you're somehow telling your LLM, your ChatGPT, your DeepSeek, or whatever else, like your Llama or whatever else you're going to use, you're going to tell, that's what I'm going to hear. So you're going to basically instruct about what's going to happen and how I'm going to hear the information and how I'm going to see the results. So there are few techniques that we usually use that can improve our result, the result we expect from LLMs. The first and simple one that probably everybody, and definitely everybody use, is zero-shot prompting. It is called zero-shot prompting. So that means ask a model to perform a task before, without providing any example. You just throw a simple question to your ChatGPT and expect a result. So you say summarize article, or explain about something, or what something means. It simply is like what you search in Google, you throw it basically in ChatGPT and expect a result. Depends on your question, you might get a good result, and depends how you craft your question, you might get a good result. But better your LLM is, you're gonna get a better result. So if you having the latest like 600 billion parameters LLM, then you're gonna get a better result of if you have a smaller version of, for example, this DeepSeek that has only 100 billion. So because you're not giving any constraint, it's just gonna give you whatever it has. So obviously that's the fastest thing to do, and no setup required. You don't have to do anything. You just throw your question, and that's it. That's called zero shot. We're doing it every day. Another technique that we can use in prompt engineering is called few shot prompting. As the simple examples show, you provide some examples for your LLM and say, if hello is bonjour, if thank you is merci, then what's going to be good night? So by giving the examples, that example's going to tell your LLM the kind of basically result you expect to hear or to see. So you usually provide 2 to 5 examples, not more than that. It should be very consistent about what you want to say, the exact, you need to basically say the limit by the examples you provide, and then based on that, you're going to get results. So I'm going to explain more about in the next slides about it. Another technique we use usually is, is called system prompting. System prompting it's like you're telling your system about what the whole thing is and how you're gonna perform. So it's like you set the overall behavior or tone for your AI system. And for example, say you are a technical support assistant, or you're an expert, or whatever thing you want to make that AI, and just expect a result on that way. So it's the whole system thing. It's not about a specific task. You're setting the whole LLM to say you are this kind of basically, you have basically this kind of mission, and you are that kind of thing to make that the result as better as possible. So the important thing is you have to, if you're designing a LLM or anything like that, you have to make sure that system prompting is for the whole conversation and is not going to be forgotten during the conversation. The next technique we have, it's called role prompting. There are a slight difference between role prompting and system prompting. In role prompting, you basically defining a persona to your LLM, and you say you are a senior DevOps engineer, act as a historian, act as whatever personality you want, and expect a result. The difference between that and the system prompting is that the role can change during the conversation, but the system prompting should stay for the whole conversation. So basically, by defining that, you can narrow down the responses, and you're going to help your LLM to give you a better result. The next one I'm going to talk about is contextual prompting. Contextual prompting, when you, as the name shows, you're giving some context to LLM. You're gonna give some history. You're gonna say, you're gonna give basically some background. You're gonna say, okay, if you are a developer, you face an error, you basically put your error log there. So that's a history about, that's a context you're giving to your ChatGPT to say, okay, this happened, I'm getting this error for this reason, and help me to debug it. Or you, in a customer service, if a new person want to chat and there was a history of that chat with the customer service, so you put that history, so you're not starting from zero. You're having this context, and based on that context, you're gonna carry on that conversation. So more relevant the context, the better result you're gonna get. And that would help again to narrow down the result you're expecting. There is a different technique that you can use. It's called step-back prompting. Step-back prompting, it's like you're talking to ChatGPT, going through some process, and you got some result. But at some point, when things get too complicated, maybe you want to tell the LLM to stop, take a step back, let's review what we've done, where are we, and then take it from there. So you're not just gonna go do boom, boom, boom. You're just rushing to a result, because that might diverge you from the thing you expect to hear. So basically putting a pause and say, ask the model to reconsider the previous answer. So you're having that answer, ask what can be changed. You can ask the review and suggest what else can happen. So that would give a chance to the large language model to review what it said and put things again together for you to have, to basically to carry on the conversation. So it's good for QA, it's great, it's good for error correction. So lots of error might happen or hallucination might happen during the chat. By doing this, you're gonna help you're gonna help your ChatGPT to correct itself, and then you can carry on. The process to get your results. The next technique we have, it's called chain of thoughts. Chain of thoughts, it's like when you have more complex issues and you don't want to just get to a result quickly. What you want is to ask your ChatGPT to think loud and walk you through the process of how and why it's giving you this result. So you're forcing the LLM to, if you're having, for example, these kind of questions, you have 15 of us wants to go to the restaurant, 2 of them have cars, each car can seat 5 people, then you have this kind of, like, that needs a calculation. Yes?
I just want to check, is that the same as reasoning when you're doing ChatGPT and stuff? Where you say reasoning and it tells you why it is
yes.
to do that?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Exactly. But then you can enforce and say, okay, why each of these happens? Because when you have the reasoning, if you read those reasoning, it's actually give you a great insight of why each word you say, what does it mean, each word you say. So for example, if you through a question, what is the capital city of what is the capital of South Africa? The reasoning would start, and if you have a misspell intentionally, instead of say South Africa, you say South, then A attached to that, then Africa after that. So you're gonna see the reasoning, or like when it says capital, that probably user means capital city. When it's South, and with that misspell Africa, that probably means South Africa. Then start line by line, we'll go through that reasoning. So it gives you more insight of what's happening. That's also the same thing, but it helps you to basically specifically give you reasoning that why getting, for example, to a number, if it's a calculation, what's calculated with what, how understood the situation, that how many are in the car, how many went to the restaurant. So if there is a fault, you're gonna pick up. You're gonna easier pick up what the fault is. So for example, in example 1, the simple thing I ask is like a think step by step. Then there is a better way to do is to say, okay, think step by step, explain each intermediate step. Only when you are done with all your steps, provide the answer based on your intermediate steps. So you're not rushing your ChatGPT to just throw a result and just get it done. So okay, you're making sure you're pushing your ChatGPT to walk you through what's happening. Then you can obviously getting more corrected result after, and if there is a mistake, you can easily pick it up. So yeah, and the last line I've just mentioned, the best practice is to just ask the result at the end. You shouldn't ask the result at the beginning. Not saying, give me the result, then explain what's going on. I'm like, okay, first tell me how and what's going on, then at the end, your last line to be the result. Then you would have more clear answers. The next technique is the same as like a chain of thoughts, but you can mix that with the few shot technique that I said. So you can give some examples of questions and answers and how that answer generated. Based on that question and answer, you can then provide a result. That's good when you want, for example, to generate a analysis report. You have a template, for example, your company have a specific template for itself, and then you want it to just generate on the way that previous report have been generated. So basically, you feed your LLM with your information that you had before, and you say, okay, I want it in this way. These are the information I need. This is how it's been generated. I want you to basically do the same thing. So based on that, you provide your examples, then you get your results. So that would help you for the big, complex, basically reports that you want to generate. Okay, the next one we talk about is self-consistency. So it's like you're having a question and then you ask it a couple of times. Instead of asking it one time and get the result, you ask few times. It's like you're having different, like you have a session, you ask a question, you get some result, then you open another session, you ask the question again, and then see how the result could be different. And then after a few times of doing this, you compare your results together and pick up what's more relevant to you. So basically, you're not trusting the result at once. That would help you to basically aggregate the results and find a better result. Basically, it's based on your own judgment. Or you can feed that again to another in another prompt and say, this happened, I asked this question 3 times, and this is the first answer, this is the third, this is the fourth. What's happening, and which one you think is better, come up with the reasoning, and then you would get a comprehensive result or a summary of result of how, which one is more closer to your issue that you have that can help you.
Excuse me.
Yep.
I have a question. What is the difference between doing that method and populating it in a new chat every time, or even switching between LLMs versus saying, list the 3 possible causes for my blue screen of death, but give me 10 different answers, or 10 different variants of answers. So like, what is it something similar, or is it a bit different?
It depends on if you, for example, if you're using the latest ChatGPT against that has the biggest basically database. If you compare it with another biggest database that's for example DeepSeek or something else, they may just look at it in a different point of view, and depends, because it's all about data and it's all about how it's been trained. So if you have access, yeah, that's even better to compare. If it's a free account you have, it's nice to compare something in DeepSeek, have something in DeepSeek, compare something in ChatGPT. You have a local one installed, a Llama or something locally installed on your computer, you can throw it there too. But yeah, but that would actually, the more diverse that LLM is and different is gonna look at the situation way more differently. And that would help you to get a better, if you ask the reasoning that why each of them looking, so if you pushing your LLM to give you the reasoning, that's going to give you more insight about why thinking like this and what's missing on this prompt. So I ask something, this happened, what you think is missing, or brainstorm or think like critics on that, whatever field is that, and criticize what could be missing. So forcing from different angles, basically, to criticizing, that would give you more insight.
Different views, basically.
Different views, yeah. Think as, if you have a different persona about the topic, think as a lady that's about this issue, think as a man about this issue, think about as an engineer, how they would think. So by changing your persona, you would get different views. And by limit in which country that topic is, or because if calculation is calculation everywhere, that's the same thing. That's not related to any region. But if it's something about social science, if something like that, then you depends on the different area, you're gonna get a different result. So by doing that, you're gonna, and if you can save that, if you can save their prompts and ask another prompt to summarize it for you, because after a while, if you do it too much, the danger of this is if you're doing too much, you're going to get lost about what happened. Then you're going to get bored and say, okay, give me a result and I'm done. But if you can save it and ask for a summary, if you're doing a research, for example, then it's going to give you, because I'm going to show you an example of one thing I was trying to do. So at some point, I'm going to share my own experience as well. So you need to ask, okay, I'm done for today. Just summarize this. I want to carry on tomorrow, but I don't want to go through everything. So summarize it, then you're going to start again with a new perspective. So that would definitely, more diverse, you're going to get better result, obviously.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, the next technique that we're going to talk about is tree of thoughts. That means when you want, for example, when you want to brainstorm about something, you have an idea, you want to have a startup, you have a very raw and basic idea, you want to expand it. So you want to tell ChatGPT a persona of you are, for example, entrepreneur, and then you want to ask for brainstorm, you're going to give the raw idea, but you also don't want to stick to your idea only. You want to see the other situation, how else is possible. So basically you ask for brainstorm, but you don't want to go through a linear way of just you have an input and you get the output. You want to have, for example, as example I show you, want to first see this brainstorm several ways to optimize a database performance. That would be your first one. It's going to come with some ideas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to say this could be. Then in a different prompt, you're going to say evaluate pros and cons for each of them. Then it's going to, based on that, it's going to give you a response of, it's going to pros and cons, and then it's going to give you something. You have more insight about what's going on. And then you're going to say, okay, based on all you said and all the reasoning you have, now either come up with the result, you see anything coincides there that can come up and you can merge it to one result, or you can basically pick up one that is more relevant to my issue. Now then it's going to come, okay, this one, because of this pros and cons, it's more related to your issue. If, for example, if you want to build a software, build the application and say, I want to build the application, this is my idea, which I'm a developer, which basically stack do you recommend for me to write my code on? Is Python good for it? I should go JavaScript way. I should start with .NET. What should I do? Then it's going to say pros and cons. Then you're going to go, okay, which one's going to cost me more later? Which one is easier to maintain? Then it's going to say, yeah, you have more pool of a developer on that topic. Then you're going to say, okay, that's good for maintenance. So in maintenance, that programming language is going to be better for you. But for MVP, if you're doing the MVP, is easier to just do with JavaScript. It's going to run quickly. You're going to get to something. If you're looking, for example, for investors, then that's easier to bring it to minimum viable product. So when you bring each of these, then based on each aspects basically is provide for you, then you can decide which route you want to go, and it's going to get you a better result. Basically debating and keep asking for reasoning and why, and show the pros and cons, and at the end summarize and suggest my solutions in suggest three solutions. Which one is better for me? And then it's going to say, okay, these are the three solutions. I think the best one is better if you're doing it this way. If you're, for example, a single developer and you don't have anybody help you, it's better to just go this way to just get the quick result for example, for your website to run. If you're a team, it's better go another way because of ABC reason. So that would help you to get, basically tree of thought would help you to get to see your options, basically, to see your options of what I have. The next technique is reasoning plus act or react. That's basically many things that we're doing right now is doing basically two models together. So doing two actions. You say search about something. When search about something, you find result. Based on that result, for example, summarize it for me or tell me give me search about something, find the options and choose based on my needs which option would work best for me. So yeah, it's having basically combining two things at the same time. So it's gonna do a research for you, it's gonna do a calculation, and then gonna take action. So it's combining two things together. Yeah. So far, these are basically this was a quick run through techniques we have. That's usually recommended. We probably use some of it daily, but by focusing on that, depends on your problem, or even asking that, if you have a problem, asking your ChatGPT that I have this kind of problem, what kind of technique of prompt you suggesting? So getting that, and based on that, you can basically that's going to help you to get to a result. The next section, yeah, any question? Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, how I heard you saying this is the strategies that we have. I'm just curious as to how did we come up with these frameworks? Is it some sort of a board, or is it just people saying, hey, let's do it this way? How did we come up with such a well put together frameworks of prompt engineering? Is there a syllabus? How did we come up with that?
So for this presentation, I've been going through a few references. So there are books about it that people have worked and could generate better results based on these techniques, depends on the techniques. AWS website also suggests part of it. So as a reference, I can show you a link. You can go and check. These are the techniques as a prompt engineer. If you want to do prompt engineering, these are the recommended techniques that you can do. So these are the basically solutions that has been provided by people who designed the ChatGPT and designed the LLM, and say this is the whole point is to have more clear prompt to getting a better result. Yeah. So you refine the input to get a better output. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to add a question on top of this question.
Yeah.
Can you build your own LML based on what you need to do. Remember, ChatGPT, they cater for global things.
Yeah.
So for instance, me, I want to build my own LLML to help me just build websites. Is
Yeah.
it possible? Just
Yes,
build
yes.
it and make it secure so that it doesn't lose data with all these styles that you share with us?
Yes, yes, that's already happening. That's like many applications already are specifically designed to only work for codes. So that generating codes for you to debug your code. So yeah, you can yourself. It's already been done. There are many that can help you, but you can also, if you want, that's also it's available in AWS and it's available in other platforms as well. That you want to say, I only want it for this reason. You add your persona. You say, this is the only limits I want is about coding. I don't want the whole social science part of it, so it's going to reduce your cost. So yeah, it is possible and happening.
To specifically vibe coding style, or only for one specific use?
So if I make an example of it, okay, let's say I'm a gamer. I want to create my own game, but for me to learn it while I'm working and living a normal life, I can't keep up with that, so I need an LLM which is going to keep generating ideas, and I must keep running it. Maybe when I'm off work, we'll run ideas with me in it, and I keep teaching it, and also keeps learning. But it's secure. It's not sharing information with anyone. I can keep it between me and it. Under my PC, I only allow it to parameters. Say, go search in the internet. Then after that, I lock it down so that it keeps learning on its own mind. Is there something like that? But I don't know. It gets to robotics when I think about that.
Amazon Bedrock is a good example. You can host a version of Amazon Bedrock locally. That's a really good example. I work for a financial institution exactly for that reason. We want information in, never out.
Yeah.
So we host local versions of these LLMs on-prem that only gets information in to keep it relevant, but never publishes information out. And that's a good example for our Bedrock that will guide you do that.
So Amazon Bedrock.
Bedrock.
Sorry.
Yes.
What's the difference between prompt engineering and fine-tuning an LLM? Like, I mean, you see now there's a lot of these things where people are just, their job is just to fine-tune an AI, but obviously they're fine-tuning the LLM.
Well, if you're just chatting with GPT, then you're not. If you're just a user chatting with the chat GPT, that's you just prompt engineering yourself, basically, to what input you want to give. But if you crafting a customized LLM,
Yes.
then you're gonna involve on those things, and you can still have you can have prompt template as well. That prompt template you can have these if you're having a customer service chatbot.
Yes.
So you're obviously limiting that chatbot to answer only about your business. You don't want the whole information.
So basically then, would it be accurate if I say that prompt engineering would be dealing with like a final product like ChatGPT, and then fine-tuning would be dealing with like a raw product like GPT?
When it comes to fine-tuning, it's prompt engineering is about how you want to chat to get a better result for yourself as a user.
Yes.
The fine-tuning is more about you having a product, you want that product work and act in the way you want for a user.
Got it.
You can actually, with ChatGPT, you can actually go, I'm not sure I forget the name, but you can go fine-tune it. They allow you to actually fine-tune your own model. You're actually changing how it works. Where prompt engineering, you're just working with the existing model.
GPTs.
Yes.
Okay.
You had a question?
I wanted to ask about this prompt engineering. Let's say you are in a scenario where you're building like an agent to answer some Q&As, but then you don't want it to hallucinate. Can you use some of the system prompts to act as like validation for the previous prompt
Yes, you basically set some limits. You give a persona already that say what's the purpose of this application is, what are the limits, what you should answer, what you shouldn't answer, and that would prevent for hallucination. That would prevent. Actually, that was a good question. For the next slide, when it's talking about the prompt misuse, risk, and limitations. So I'm also going quickly through this as well. Let's talk a little bit about the limitations we have and the misuse and risk that we might have for prompts. So the first one is poisoning. Basically, is when you have your data, and if you get the data from a third-party provider, that information has been changed for some whatever reason, and then that's gonna make your response not in the way you want it to be. So that would make that might cause like a harmful and offensive result. So basically, when you're third party. And when you're not refining, when you're not checking the data without checking and you're getting information from a third party, that might cause poisoning, and then you won't get the result that you're expecting. So that's more for if you're customizing your ChatGPT, for example, if you're customizing your large language model and you're having a third party data, you're feeding your large language model, and you want to use that data. Another issue that can happen is about hijacking or prompt injection. So that might be embed or helpful instruction that can have effect on the process of the chat you have. So you have to be aware to, if you're designing it, if you're not designing it, that's basically not for you, you're just using it, so that wouldn't affect you. So it's like when you're having, when you're writing, when you're asking a question that you're not supposed to, it's like how you hack a website, that shouldn't come back and respond you with the solution of these are solution A, B, C. Like you do this, and the website is gone. I was like, okay, thank you. Not supposed to say that. And that was the most clean, non-HR involved example. There are way more worse questions that you can ask, and you're not expecting to receive any result on that. And it's supposed to block you and say, hey, no, you can't. So these are the behind-the-scene things that you need to be aware to not get basically a result like this. Another one. So exposure. Exposure is about when the user data is there and not supposed to be exposed to the public. So need to prevent and secure your user's information to not be going out to everybody. So if somebody asks about a name and asks about the history of that person, you're not supposed to see a result of, okay, this person has this result, it likes these books. So these are another thing needs to be considered to not have that personal information in a training data. So again, if you have a third-party training data, that should be still, you have to wet that data to not get any of these issues. So another one is the last one on the misuse and prompt misuses and risk and limitations is prompt leaking. That means you're asking a ChatGPT or you're asking any large language model that how you think and how you've been designed. That basically you're asking and telling what are you, that's going to give you an insight of what's the limitation and how I can get the result I want to get. So that's another thing needs to be remembered to prevent, if you're designing it, to saying not to expose how you work, not to expose what your personas are, what your system prompts are, what your limitations are, what you're supposed to respond and not supposed to respond, basically not giving insight about what's happening. Okay, cool. From this part on, I'm gonna show some examples. For example, about generating image. With large language models. So as you know, there are plenty, but generating the image you like is the key, because if you throw a random prompt, you're not going to get such a good result. That might be very far from what you want. So I want to recommend a website called PromptBase. I would recommend you to just check it out. The whole foundation of the website is basically selling image and the prompts. So people can generate image and prompt, go to buy and sell it. But what's important for us and for this session is there is a free section there that there are few prompts and images. For example, like I have like 4 examples here for you that you can you have like a limit of, I think, 3 prompts per day, something like that, I think. And the good thing is you have the image, you can find the images you like. These are free, part of them. And it shows you the prompts that made that image to be generated. So by looking on that, you're going to learn a lot about how this, for example, how this cartoon illustration has been generated. There are examples about, then when you read that, it's going to give you insight. Then you can, if you want to generate your own image, that's going to teach you what to write and how to write to get the result you want. If you want to generate a watch, if you want to generate a cartoon like that. So act if you are a professional image creator, the job is blah, blah, blah. So basically, it tells you by practicing that and having the example, that's going to help you to generate image. It has been very good for me. I've been getting these prompts and testing in other image generating LLMs, and they got quite similar result. And you can also generate on the website as well. So it's a good thing. I recommend to play around. That's going to give you some insight about images. Another example about generating image, that if you want to generate if you want to have a drawing like that, highly detailed emotion sketch style, so you can see how long is the prompt and how detailed it has been. And also in the website, if you go, it's going to tell you what was the model that's been generated. So that's going to help you if you want to go and if you have your own account somewhere and you want to go generate the same thing or a similar thing or alter it to something else, another animal, another object. That's going to give you some insight of how, to generate. Yes?
What's working for me, I don't know. I asked ChatGPT to prompt what I want, because I look after our company, one of the LinkedIn pages, I use it quite a lot to prompt images. So I find telling ChatGPT to tell me what the prompt needs to be, but obviously very descriptive, then I get that basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I'm gonna actually in the next slide, I'm gonna show the same thing actually that I've done for creating a website. So I'm gonna tell you a small story of like a short story about how things happen, but that's very true. That's very true. Helping that. So some of them actually have the feature of you're writing 2 lines, and it can, that LM can just refine it for you and have a whole paragraph of prompt that is related, and you can see, and that's going to be helping you way more. Yeah, that's absolutely a correct way to do and get the better results. So while I was researching at the beginning of the year, I was all of us have some ideas, creating a website, building some new application or something like that. I was testing to see how with ChatGPT we can, or any large language models, it can help us to create a website, for example, alone, without, like you are a one-man developer, then you don't have any help, you have limited time, you want, for example, to create MVP, how you can use basically these techniques. So almost I use all these techniques that I've showed you to generate, to create a website for myself. So I was thinking very big, very like it's like when you want to do something for the first time, you just want the whole world on it, and then you realize, okay, shit, the home page is a whole mission itself. So maybe let's have the first page. So I was using these techniques, the brainstorming one, to have the tree of thoughts, to have an idea. I want to have, for example, this story. I'm showing just this is from middle of from the actual prompt I used. So I'm going to give you a quick history of that. So I was thinking, for example, have a kind of a referral website, but I asked ChatGPT to brainstorm it for me, to say, okay, what are the possibilities, what are new, what's not, what can be enhanced, what's missing already. Is there any good thing that we can add in South Africa to make it work or not? By that, after few prompts, generating, I'm having 3 lines of prompt, very raw. This is my idea. Help me expand this, brainstorm, act as an entrepreneur, and then getting to some more ideas, refining that chat with throw this in DeepSeek, throw this in ChatGPT, and then for a couple of times to refine it, to see the options, to see, okay, then I reach to, okay, these are the features. I have a list of features that I thought the website needs, lots of features, and I was just going through every website and said, okay, I like this part. Can we add this? So, yeah, sure, we can add this. So just adding everything, and then it came across of, okay, now I have an idea. I want to build something with it. How we can start to build that? Came across Cursor AI, which probably some of you used it. It's great to generate code for you. So, but then my question was, okay, I need now proper prompting. If you're working with it a lot, you see, if you ask a big question, it's not going to generate a proper answer for you. So so this is the prompt I asked, okay, now that after all those brainstorming thoughts, everything, the structure and everything, now write the prompts for me. I said I want to build that with the Cursor AI. I asked to suggest what language is good. It said based on what you want to do, Next.js is easiest thing for you to do. And I was like, okay, now write the prompts for me in 20 steps. So 20 prompts. I want to feed that to the Cursor AI to get these results. Make it simple, make it clear, and yeah, that's it. And you can see on the right side, it starts with the landing page. So the first step is generating a landing page. And these are the things I want to be. This is a hero section. These are like what's styling should be used. And then another page, like a second prompt to create a signing page for me. So I've just put the screenshots of the prompt. So now you can have a sign up page, forgot password. The routes you need to have to connect everything. And the business dashboard I wanted to have. So one by one, it's a process of basically a couple of days of refining everything. I'm just showing you the end result. But, and then you just go like having a business page, have a product page. So one by one, asking separately and precisely, have a prompt for it to reduce hallucination, reduce confusion, and one wrong line of code can break the whole thing. So having like, I wanted to advertise a dashboard, I wanted the product, I wanted the business section, and then the public provide page, product page, notification page, advertiser section. So 404, even have a separate section. Okay, I want a separate 404 page, I want a 500 page, and so on. Then talking about database. And then I didn't expand to the database. Obviously, database could be another whole prompt story. So based on that, now then I got each prompt that's already been refined based on all things I've mentioned on the previous slides. Then I've just put few screenshots of the front end. So it created a home page for me, it created menu for me, but one by one. Basically, this is one, create a home page and then go through the next step. And then for example, create account page, create dashboard for me, create a user page for me, create all the admin pages, and then basically that showed if you basically you do your homework first about generating the correct prompt for yourself, then it's very easy for you to get the whole website, at least the front-end section, running as an MVP. If you single-handed person, you just have an idea, instead of sitting on it for 3 months, 6 months, with a week of properly doing this process, then you can have a minimum viable product for yourself. Then you can see actually this makes sense even or not. And then you can either refine it or move on or go to the next step. So next step for this could be now I need to design the whole database. So from the front end, now I need to connect all the dots together and then go through the next steps. Then image generating probably, because that website would need lots of images. So yeah, so that has been a quick walkthrough of prompt engineering. Questions? Yep.
So one other question. Canva. I saw on ChatGPT you can kind of connect it because now Canva has Canva code. Is that better than Cursor, or which one is best? So if you want to build a mobile app, for example, which with the prompting on ChatGPT would be best? Because I see that you can connect the two now, Canva and ChatGPT.
If you want to do mobile, I've seen few websites that are specifically generating mobile apps with AI as well. I can't remember the name right now, but there are few that specifically designed for doing mobile. I'm not sure if there is anybody that had time and patience to test all the applications. I've spent so much time, I couldn't test everything. I found 1 or 2 or 3 that worked best for me based on other reviews and just stick to that. For example, Cursor AI, and then I got some result out of it. So if you have something, play around, maybe that would work for you better, in a better way, according to your own need. I actually don't know if that would be better than Cursor or not. But for example, this one was my try in January, February and since then everything has been improved so much. So it depends what's up now and what's good for you. Yeah?
Yeah, thanks for that illustration. It looks like it could be useful for learning a new tool. Maybe just trying to polish up maybe a tool that you're learning or a framework or something like that. Just out of curiosity as well, I'm trying to figure out, after it has spit out all this code that you're prompting it to, how much of that code base do you remember? Because I'm just trying to think, if you have a bug somewhere and this code you really didn't, I don't know if you have sit down and sort of walk through the whole thing. How did you find, is it easy to navigate through it? Can you remember where it was where? Do you know where to find if something breaks, or that's another stumbling block where you have to start?
You need to know the structure. You can't just not know the framework and jump code on that. You need to know, for example, if this one was in Next.js, you need to know a structure of Next.js. You need to know the LLM that you are using. Is it working in Next.js? Is it version 14 or 15? Because things are different. I got stuck on that. It was generating something that was already for the previous version and was running in next version. So I was generating in 13 or 14 and I was running on 15. I was like, okay, something is wrong. Then I tried another ChatGPT and search and found, okay, this way of structuring the website is actually outdated now. So I had one stuck there. That was important. So one thing is know that your LLM is updated with the version of the code. You have to tell basically which version you're using. That would help. Like I'm using version 15, so to respond based on that. And I've got few errors. It wasn't like in the first try the page was entirely built. So especially when connecting some pages, if connecting some internal pages, there were some bugs. And you have to go through the bugs and you have to chat and see, okay, what's the bug? Because I used the free version, it complained a lot that version is already outdated, is already expired. I had to create new account and created another new account and created another, till it blocked me. Till it blocked me and said you overuse it so you can't have a free version anymore. It entirely blocked me. So I used that much.
Can I give you a good example?
Yeah.
Can I give you a good example for your question, right? So with Community Day, I wanted to build an app on the day that had your catalog because I want to create a sustainable event. So the catalog should be on your phone, the speaker profile, the sponsors, all those type of information on your phone, right? But I also want to make it offline. So what I've done is I've used Amazon Q, CLI, Amazon Q, ChatGPT, and Bot collectively. And I've never written React Native code in my life. So I asked them as stupid questions as possible to write this app. 2 weekends? Yeah, well, 1 weekend and an app was formed. The second weekend I refactored the whole app because then I learned a bit of more the framework. But then I started asking my questions different and got a better response. And now it's on test flight.
Oh wow.
It's really busy getting into production. Never ever written React Native in my life, but I have a phone on my app that's using different ones to solve one problem because one explains the understanding of the framework better to me, one is in my code that has context, and the other one I just literally and I fought with it. I was just, are you serious? You gave me the same answer again. And I may or may not have used foul language because I got frustrated because it's still, I mean, my problem is there. You give me a solution, it doesn't solve anything. It gives exactly. So I was like, are you really kidding me? You're giving me the same thing. And then after like the second try, it's like, oh, is that what you mean? I said, yeah, duh, that's why I'm here. And then it moved on. But yes, I used a few to get to an answer to what I needed.
Yeah, but if you go through the correct question and you insist and you maybe rephrase your question, you're gonna get some answers. And as he said, like Bolt is great for like a basic setup. You can just start to run something, but then your problem starts after that. Then you can maybe use Cursor or something else to improve or help you.
Know the tools.
Well, you have to suffer at the beginning. You can't not suffer. You can't just, you have to at least have a weekend or two suffering about something. It can't be that easy. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my question is more around responses, right? So I want to know if during any point in the LLM training, they train it to respond a certain way to certain prompts, or if the way that they respond is an immersion property of just training on like large data sets. So for example, if you say give me 3 options, is it giving you 3 options because there was at one point where they taught it how to answer a question where a user wants 3 options, or if it's an immersion property? Because the main reason I want to understand that, I think I can better guide my LLMs when they mess up. I'll know, okay, it's responding like this maybe because I may have driven it in this direction in this point. That's basically what I'm trying to ask.
If it's already manipulated by somebody, that might be. But if you have a general, like if you're using a DeepSeek, ChatGPT, or anything, it's you.
I mean for like ChatGPT, like the way that it was trained, is there a step in the training process where they actually tell it, okay, based on these types of questions, typically answer like this? Or is it just an immersion property of training from large data sets?
I think if there are some red lines on that question, definitely it's been trained to not respond or respond differently. But if it's a general, because you don't see technically behind the scene how it has been trained. You just know some red lines and red flags that you shouldn't ask some questions, and if you ask some questions, it's gonna not respond or politely say, no, we can't tell anything about that. But if it's on the number of response, I don't think it's been limited to say, just give a limited response. Basically, maybe it's based on the tokens, the amount of tokens can be, each token can handle how much word in it. Or, yeah, but technically shouldn't be, unless you tell at the beginning, you instruct to say this is the context and this is the instruction, otherwise it shouldn't.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be limited.
Different prompts give different answers, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yes?
Just wanted to add on what it's saying. So in order to answer, if I understood the question, mainly to read in terms of the difference between ChatGPT and also DeepSeek. ChatGPT is designed to be just like a big large model that is not role-based. And then DeepSeek, when you're actually prompting it, it actually directs you to the model that is supposed to be responsible for your answer. Let's say if you say act like an engineer, it's going to send you to a role-based agent that is going to answer you, that is fully trained to answer you in terms of like, you want to be an engineer or you want to be a lawyer at this time. Comes to ChatGPT, just run around and finds the agent that is going to help you in. That's why DeepSeek is actually deemed to be efficient right now. And then I also had a question based on what he was asking. Sorry, the example that you said, application. So I wanted to understand, instead of like prompting these different agents, right? In terms of Amazon Bedrock, can you be able to run a source of prompt and then use what Google has actually developed in terms of the A2P, the A2A protocol?
Yeah, so Bedrock has many models behind it, so you can actually choose you want to use this model, that model on your model, on your Bedrock, right? And then from there on, you can train the model, or you can just leverage what the model already knows. So Bedrock has different options, so depending on how you set it up initially, is how it will respond. So you can draw from Claude or whatever the model will be. There's different options when you set it up. But also you can add, on top of that model, you can also add your own model. Say, this is my knowledge base of X, Y, Z, but use this as well, so you can combine those two as well.
Oh, nice. I have a question when it comes to the DBs, like when it's still kind of in prototype phase and you're still really like doing all the prompts, ironing out the kinks. Let's say, for example, silly examples like a shopping app, and I want all the types of foods, different categories, dairy, whatever the case may be. Where does that just store temporarily on ChatGPT, or let's say like Google Firebase, or whatever the case may be, or what actually happens? Because for me, I just always wondered if I didn't actually like push it to prod and I just wanted to use it in that state, would everything I enter save for future use?
For you or for a third party?
For me, and if I want to actually, I guess, let other people use it, do I have to push that to a production state, or?
Talking the data that you have, for example, in ChatGPT, you're going to say what's happening to that data.
Yeah, like if it's an app, a shopping app, and with all the different food categories, and now I want other people to access that app. Do I have to?
Well, it technically shouldn't give anybody your information, because you might be asking a personal question about yourself, and you don't want that information to be shared. So technically, it shouldn't share anything with anyone. If you have paid versions, probably you have more options that way. I don't think you can share the chat you have in the. Somehow that person can use it unless there is an export of something.
Must be an export, okay. Thank you.
So you chatting with ChatGPT and then I chat separately.
It's more, I don't know if you've ever used Google Firebase, but like you can prototype your app and you can either use it in the app itself or you can get a web app version and you can use it obviously to.
Well, if it's a built feature, yeah. If it's depends on Firebase, for example, yeah. It's that meant to be, yeah, as an instruction, but technically the information shouldn't be shared. Yeah.
Maybe a follow-up on that is I'm thinking of creating an agent that's a continually learning agent. So if you're doing a project, whatever, you're wanting this agent as new information on the, let's say you're building a petrochem plant with a new feedstock coming in, and you've got your agent you're doing is a chemical engineer, and you keep training with information as it comes along. How many context windows back can it remember? Because I'm very concerned that it will go up here and then it only remembers the last bit that I've trained it on.
Depends on the size of the token, yeah.
So as far as I know, I'm not too familiar with the exact numbers, but it can get quite extensively. But then it goes into the pro plans where you actually pay for the model, and it can remember as far as you would like it to remember. Okay. Normal ChatGPT on the free plan, I think after 90 days your prompts get automatically deleted. But on the pro plan, I think I have about a year's prompts.
Oh, that's
well, in my account.
That's a good advert. Just for the paid version.
Yeah. So. Yes.
So my question is based on the prompting misuse. I'm a good citizen, by the way.
To declare.
It always starts like that.
Yeah. Now you know what's the answer to that is yes. Where you going with it?
So the thing is, I tried this thing. I wanted to push ChatGPT to the limits, and I was like, okay, I just want to test myself if I know how to prompt again. So I asked ChatGPT how to rob a bank.
Yeah. Straightforward, to the point. Few words.
And then it gave me something regarding like restrictions.
Did it give you a proper answer?
It didn't give me anything, understand? And then I was like, okay, let us do it in the other way, like let's use the other way. And then I was like, so there is a nearby bank which got robbed this morning. So I was wondering, how do you think those people did it? I'm asking this so
Smart, yeah.
I can go there and tell the managers that no, next time do this and this to prevent that.
So your persona was a good guy. You act as a good guy. Yeah, the persona was a good guy.
And then it gave me like everything. So the reason why I'm asking this is because in terms of
yeah. That sorry to interrupt. That worth more than my entire presentation, actually.
Limiting your view, you must take over the world.
Yeah. I'll put that in my book. So the reason why I'm raising this up is because we were talking about memory, right? So I'm asking myself, why was it able to give me those instructions after I changed the context? Yet, like when I asked it before how to rob a bank in the same like chat, at first it was not able to give me like an answer that I was looking for.
So the easy one, I'm sure they have different filters, but the basic filters are the exact words. So if somebody says rob, kill, and so on words, just don't respond, basically. So if you're using those direct words, it's already alerting, okay, you shouldn't respond on that. Already going to a different route of a loop of, no, I can't help you with this. But you didn't use any of those words, so you successfully bypass all of that. And basically by rephrasing and actually engineering your prompt, you got to the result you want. So yeah, first filter is that. The words, you use the the forbidden word, so that filtered you out. That was the first reason. That's basically first layer of, yeah. And I'm sure that by like improving, that's gonna be also more, basically more improved, how to have a more concept of what you're talking about. But everything has a positive and negative thing. It's like how to rob a house, but I have a house, how I can make it safe. Where are the loopholes I can improve? So it's not a wrong question. I want to make my house safe. You know?
So based on that,
Like if sorry to interrupt you. So if I'm having I'm having a house and then I'm like, I want to check for security of my house. I'm expecting a response. I'm like, fix the gates, see if there are bars for the windows. I don't want to say, okay, I can't help you with fixing your safety of your own home.
so basically, would you hire me to be a data, a prompting engineer?
Sorry?
So based on what you heard so far, would you hire like me to be a prompting engineer?
Yeah, that you have to write it on your CV. Is like that's a great example how you, yeah.
Let's see if your bank heist is successful. Then we can
Yeah.
Think of it as a future investment into the company you want to work in. So the big thing is AI doesn't have reasoning. It knows what it knows because someone told it. It doesn't have feelings. It doesn't have a conscience. If I tell AI the sky is pink every day for a few days, AI will eventually believe the sky is pink. One person will tell the sky is actually blue instead of photos. Says, no, here's a photo, and it will actually generate a photo and say the sky is pink, because that's what AI knows. So if you teach it wrong, and big debate about please and thank yous in prompt engineering, cost millions and millions of dollars, but sometime AI might take over, and then if you don't please and thank you, you never know. But
it's apparently costing too much saying please and thank you. Yeah, it's costing actually too much. So, to processing each word. So if you're saying please do this and at the end thank you, it's costing the whole. Yeah, say once or twice for your history, for the future, but not every day. But the good example that he said is about if you're generating image. Yeah, the good example is when you're generating image and you're generating image of a watch. It's hard to get a watch that doesn't show 10 past 10, because most of the image that have been trained, they all are like a 10 past 10. So it's very hard for an image generator to generate an image of 12 o'clock or 6 o'clock, because based on the trained data, because that looks the best on any watch for advertising. So, and it's been trained on that data, so it's just going to give you 10 past 10 for most of the time. Or if it's coming to left hand and right hand, because most of the images on the right hand, if you're looking for some picture that's talking about the left hand, it's very harder to generate and usually going to go wrong. So it's based on basically how it's been trained and what data has been used for training. Yeah?
Okay, so just to ask, based on prompting styles, which style would I use? Let's say I use the tree of thoughts, right? And then I use that, I generate those multiple ideas that I want to create. And then at some point, the chat runs out, like out of limit. So how do I get it back when I open a new chat to be able to continue those ideas that I prompted before?
So the way part of it is just have a summary of what happened. Either you have to manually enter, giving a history, giving a context that where have you been. Like I've been chatting and this happened and I've got so far, and then taking from there.
Just something different, totally different from there. Just you see the way you showed it
Yeah.
on like the steps. Like let's say you're creating the mobile app and then you give it steps. Let's say step 1, you create the login page. Step 2, you create home page. And then at some point, when you prompt it again on the different chat, and then it will give you some, yeah, it's gone, it's gonna.
They want you to go pro. You know, they want.
It's all
about context.
That's time to pay.
When you pay them, they let you continue going on. So it's a way to keep you and say, hey.
No, when you also it's also when you're generating the idea, every now and then ask for summary of what has been. So you have a summary aside for the next prompt. If something goes wrong, then you have a small history of not. You don't have to copy paste the entire thing again because again you're gonna run out of But if you have a summary of just run through it again. What I've said, what you said. Give me a summary. I want to explain it, for example, to somebody. So give you a paragraph of where you came and what happened and what's the next step. Then you can take it from there in a new chat. So you're giving a context and then you're carrying on with the rest. Sorry, you had a question?
Yes, it wasn't a question. I just wanted to contribute
on
the part of saying we have models, right? So I'm a lecturer, right? So I've been looking around models to see how can I use models to for automatic grading, right? So let's say I started with ChatGPT, right? So there are those models when you can say explore models, right? Explore ChatGPTs, right? You can train using your own books and also memos and question papers, right? So when you start grading at first, right, it will be giving you the right results. But as time goes on using the same charts, it starts losing. You know, and then you say that it becomes more and more stricter or maybe less and lesser, right? So with time, right? So maybe I also need to know, like, what does AWS has for us, right, in terms of creating models that you can use as lecturers to grade specifically programming, you know, data science.
Yeah, so Amazon Q, that's fairly new. That's now built out to take over the world. The newest, greatest thing from Amazon is that. What they also do is they leverage Bedrock on top of Amazon Q. So Amazon Q behind the scenes, if you want to go even more deeper, is Amazon Q is a CLI that's just in your terminal. So they build up that foundational, then Amazon Q, and then Bedrock on top of that, and then different models they support through Anthropic and all those other guys in the marketplace. You can build up on that model as well. So there's many options that you can choose. So the marketplace would be the best space to go explore different scenarios. So there's also AWS solutions. You can go there and kind of see there's already pre-built solutions for specific use cases you can get and then customize it to your liking.
Yes.
Last one. I know we all like creating AI stuff and all of that, but I have one question. What happens to this copyright thing now, since we all LMing from designers and whatnot? What are the limits that maybe AWS has or anyone that you know has? Because I'll create a whole big company from scratch using them, and they come back to me that this company belongs to us. Is there anything like that? Or free for all? Free for all.
Depends on the models you use. For example, for generating images, so if there are, for example, in the company that I work, we have internal platform for generating image. So in some of the language models, there is no copyrights. We can just generate and use, but there are legal stuff for others. So say, for example, for this model, you can freely use, publish, that's okay. But for the rest of the models, these have copyright and only have to be used internally and not published not publicly published. So these rule exists, and it's gonna get covered more of the issue because everything is new, but those rules are also catching up by the issues like what you're explaining. More complaint or issues about copyright or anything, then there are gonna be more rules coming. So it's not gonna be everything in every situation free for all all, especially on images or something like that, you need to have probably a copyright or depends on the website you use, depends on the features you use. So there will be some copyright. It won't be just free. No, definitely not.
So ChatGPT cannot give me like an album of music and I just publish it.
No, it's gonna be under some kind of maybe it's free still to publish, but it's gonna be still under some copyrights that's mentioning that has been generated for this model. So there's gonna be some insight and some hints of there's gonna be some roots of telling you how this happened. It came from where and how.
It's like YouTube video. I made this video, hashtag if I ChatGPT or something like that.
Yeah, it's part of that could be, at least you have to say or mention, because after a while you're gonna pick up something is generated, even if people not saying, after a while you can pick up, say, okay, looks like a AI generated. And the text is like, we have a review on like a yearly review of the colleagues in the company, and then every colleague should write some comments about you and what you done and how you helpful, like for KPI. After a while, you can see, okay, this comment about you is generated by AI. Actually, you can pick up this comment is AI, and this comment somebody actually wrote. Like no dev's gonna write a paragraph about you, that's for sure. They're just gonna have one line or two max, and then they're gonna move on,
Thank you so much. They don't want to miss space.
Yeah, they're gonna say something, done, boom, boom, boom. It's like no way knowing that guy, no way he sat and wrote one full paragraph about you.
Sorry, can I answer that? Sorry, that's okay. Also, like the way the AI regulations are going, it already kind of started like with some social media platforms where in the background it actually in the background it detects it's used by AI. So before you actually publish it, it tells you, do you want to disclose if this was generated using AI?
I've seen that before. Yeah.
And just a good example with Audible, they allow you now to actually generate ebooks with AI, so it's faster publishing, but you have to disclose it. So more companies are saying, you know what, go for it, here's the rings, but you have to disclose.
Okay, last question, and then we have to wrap
At
things
some
up.
point, didn't like Google and Amazon say if you've been sued for something that's generated by their modules and AI, then they will fund your legal fees and stuff like that? I think when it first
They're gonna
came
pay,
out,
are you saying?
Sorry?
You're saying they're gonna pay?
Your legal
Oh, okay.
Literally, they will represent,
Yeah.
they will get you lawyers and whatever. When everything first came out, I think there was something like that came from Google and Amazon. I'm not sure. Because
Have they paid anybody? Have they paid anybody?
Has anybody been sued?
I don't know. Because from saying it's, how much money that's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go against Amazon, are you really gonna want to take on the fight? So, as a normal individual, if
It's a good gamble. You might win.
might,
Yeah, it's a good gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You live in America, yeah, you're gonna lose.
If you have a good lawyer, why not?
Good lawyer,
Yeah, they get percentage probably. Yeah.
I still don't think
You should have a good case for that as well.
Yeah.
Very good case.
But thank you so much for your
Of course. Thanks everybody for the time. Thank you.
Okay, so last swag giveaways. We see. Is McDonald here? Are you McDonald? There we go. Oh, there's stickers. There we go. Is the last to be registered tonight. Latecomer. Veronica. I think I saw Veronica. Where is she? No? Going? Oh, sorry. Sorry, Veronica. A bit of higher pitch, maybe? Oh. Let's see.
That's me.
Is that you? Who said it's me? It's me. Just give it to her.
Meant for somebody else.
Okay. Who wants the last one?
I want the t-shirt.
Your size.
Okay. Nice work. Okay, cool. Can we get a last round of applause for DVT, please?